All right, what's going on, Sequoia Nation? This is Dr. Schilling for the thought for the day. If you read the tagline, it says that the creators whisper and the victims yell. So are you a yeller or are you a whisperer? How do you communicate? Because it says a lot about how you're feeling. If you're yelling, you've been triggered and you're not in a state of calm and not in a state of peace, and you're not even rationalizing things. You're completely reacting from emotion. Now, emotions are important, right? We talked about this today. They're like farts, right? Don't hold them in, they hurt. Okay? If you haven't watched that video, go back. It's been a couple days. The point is, if you can communicate in a way that's calm and peaceful and gentle and direct, then you're coming from a creator standpoint. And if you haven't read the TED book, The Empowerment Dynamic, I strongly encourage you to. If we have it here on the shelf, you can get it in the workbook if you want it. Amazon has it, I think. The point is, like, it is a game changer. So the writers of that book posted a quote that said that the creators whisper and the victims yell. So take a step back. Like, what are you today? What were you yesterday? What are you feeling like on average? If you look back at the aggregate or the collection of your last month, have I been coming from a creator standpoint? Am I creating what I want in my life? Or am I yelling because I feel like I'm a victim and I'm not getting control over things, and I got to raise myself above someone else in order to feel dominant again because things aren't going my way. So it doesn't take long to take a step back and say, well, am I a yeller or am I a whisperer? Because, and this is not judging, it's an opportunity for self-reflection, is to say, how are you feeling about things? How are you expressing yourself? Do you feel calm? Do you feel like you have to raise your voice? Because if that's the case, then you might not have a partner who's actively listening and or available for you. If they're yelling and it's like a competition for who's going higher, once someone starts yelling, most of our brains shut off. They're not even receptive to you receiving information when you're yelling. And if someone else is yelling at you, for sure you're not receiving information because it's going to skip right over your thinking brain. You can't even rationalize what they're talking about, and you're going to go right into your lizard brain, which says, do I run for my life, do I fight for my life, or do I freeze so they don't see me? That's important to understand. So take a moment to analyze or observe and just check in with yourself. Like, am I a yeller or am I a whisperer? And you can change it right now. Next time you find yourself getting like amped up, like, yeah, okay, deep breath. You can do box breathing, you can do mountain breathing, you can do rainbow breathing. There's all kinds of breathing techniques out there. Breathe from your diaphragm, don't breathe in your chest. Breathe into your belly, okay? That's where breathing happens, that's where energy flows. Because if you're breathing up here, energy is blocked. And you're going to find yourself more freaking out. So take a step back, observe yourself, check in. It's called affect naming. So you're basically identifying what state you're in. Before you go into a conversation, identify, am I upset, am I angry, am I melancholic, which means like I'm like meh, or am I apathetic, like whatever. Whatever it is for you, decide what you are and how you're feeling, and then maybe now's not a good time for that conversation. If you're feeling kind of amped up and agitated, like, hey, time out, this is not a good time for this. Or say, yeah, I'm receptive, let's have a seat. Most people listen better when they're seated and it's sort of in a reclined state. They're more relaxed and more receptive to things. If you find people like this, whatever, they're not going to be receptive to you. Understand that, observe that in your partner, in your family member, in your child, whoever you're working with, a classmate, a workmate, whoever that is. So use this information, use this idea to just kind of spark an understanding of yourself and say, am I yelling or am I whispering? Am I able to approach things and say, I can confidently communicate myself by whispering versus yelling, okay? Because that means you're in fear mode. That means you're not feeling confident about yourself or how you're expressing yourself and things like that. So hope this has been thought-provoking. We bring these thoughts for the day because we want you to step out of the mental rat race that we're all in if we're not mindful, and step into calm and peace and living intentionally. Okay? So I will see you tomorrow for the thought of the day. I hope you're having a great day. It's beautiful weather outside. It's strange for end of October. We'll see what comes tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a good night.